Good Wednesday, everyone, and welcome to this edition of Conversational Dating News. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. Well, we made it to the end of another month, even though it is only hump day in this week. We, of course, have your news headlines coming up on this Wednesday. We have the truth of the day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich, and in today's entertainment spotlight, you're being part of my conversation with actress and author Reagan Pasternak discussing her book, Griffin's Heart. Enjoy today's broadcast. For Conversational Dating News, I'm Cyrus Webb with your Wednesday headlines. In national news, our backyard. Tragedy strikes home for Miami-Dade rescuers. Search and rescue teams from Miami-Dade are considered among the best and most experienced in the world, dispatched to epic disaster scenes far beyond Florida, from the rubble of the World Trade Center to earthquake-ravaged Haiti, Mexico, and the Philippines. This time, though, disaster struck at home. The rescuers are searching urgently for the scores of souls buried underneath the fallen 12-story wing of the Champlain Towers condo building. As of Tuesday morning, more than 5 days after the collapse, the death toll stood at 11, with 150 people unaccounted for. It's personal, said Miami-Dade County's former fire chief, a 37-year veteran of the department who retired 2 years ago but joined the search. I'd much rather be giving help than asking for help, but right now it's in our own backyard, he said, from a command trailer near the pile of broken concrete and twisted metal. Crews from across Florida and from Mexico and Israel have descended on Surfside to join the effort. More than 400 rescue workers are at the scene, rotating in and out from the rubble every 45 minutes during 12-hour shifts. At any given time, 6 or 7 squads, each with 6 members, tramp through the mountain of debris or tunnel into it. The search for survivors continued amid anguished pleas from family for rescuers to work more quickly. On and off downpours have not stopped the crews, nor did a smoky fire smoldering deep within the ruins. The oppressive Florida heat hasn't helped either. The current fire chief grew emotional as he talked about the first hours after emergency crews arrived at the horrifying scene early last Thursday. No one has been pulled out alive from the ruins since the first hours after the building fell. Rescue workers have had to move cautiously amid the precarious pile of debris. In more national news, rolling blackouts for parts of U.S. Northwest amid heat wave. The unprecedented Northwest U.S. heat wave that slammed Seattle and Portland, Oregon, moved inland on Tuesday, prompting an electrical utility in Spokane, Washington, to warn that people will face more rolling blackouts amid heavy power demand. The intense weather that gave Seattle and Portland consecutive days of record-high temperatures far exceeding 100 degrees was expected to ease in those cities. But inland Spokane was likely to surpass Monday's high temperature, a record-tying 105 degrees Fahrenheit. About 8,200 utility customers in parts of Spokane lost power on Monday, and Avista Utilities warned that there will be more rolling blackouts in the city of about 220,000 people, with the high temperature predicted at 110 degrees Fahrenheit, which would be an all-time record. In more national news, suicidal crisis, mental fatigue, kids grapple with re-entry. After 2 suicidal crises during pandemic isolation, a 16-year-old named Zach feels stronger but worries his social skills have gone stale. After relentless months of social distancing, online schooling, and other restrictions, many kids are feeling the pandemic's toll or facing new challenges navigating re-entry. A surge in teen suicide attempts and other mental health crises prompted Children's Hospital Colorado to declare a state of emergency in late May, when the emergency department and hospital inpatient beds were overrun with suicidal kids and those struggling with other psychiatric problems. Typical emergency department waiting times for psychiatric treatment doubled in May to about 20 hours. At some children's hospitals, psychiatric cases have remained high throughout the pandemic. Others have seen a more recent surge. Children who need outpatient treatment are finding it takes 6 to 9 months for an appointment, and many therapists don't accept health insurance, leaving struggling families with few options. Delays in treatment can lead to crises that land kids in the ER. In sports, Serena Williams out of Wimbledon after stopping with injury. Serena Williams stopped playing her first-round match at Wimbledon in the first set on Tuesday after she hurt her left leg by slipping during a point, a sudden end to her latest bid for a record-tying 24th Grand Slam singles title. Williams was serving in the fifth game at center court, where the roof was shut because of rain much of the afternoon, when she lost her footing near the baseline while hitting a forehand. Williams winced and stepped gingerly between points, clearly troubled. After dropping that game, she took a medical timeout and tried to continue playing. And finally, in business news, consumer confidence up in June, highest level since pandemic. U.S. consumer confidence rose for a fifth month in June to the highest level since the pandemic began last year, as households responded to increased vaccinations and the further reopening of businesses. Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. It's now time for the Truth of the Day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich. Mary Ellen, it's all yours.
Hi, this is Mary Ellen with your Truth of the Day. Focus on the positive, whether it is seeing rain as a gift from God to the earth or focusing on the positive nature of the people in your life. Keep your positivity light on the bright beam. An idealistic attitude can assist you to see the positive potential in people. At times, you may find yourself discounting people or circumstances that fail to meet your expectations. Learning to look for and distinguish positive potential will enable you to turn disappointments into blessings. Adjusting your expectations takes awareness and practice, as you have been taught since birth to have expectations, motives, and judgments about everything and everyone in your life. Your positive attitude will help you to see situations differently. Today, recognize the people you love as the individuals they are and see your circumstances as changeable. And remember, enjoy your day.
Actress and author Reagan Pasternak is featured in today's Entertainment Spotlight, right here on Conversations Daily News. For Conversations Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with the Entertainment Spotlight. Actress and author Reagan Pasternak joined me recently on Conversations Live, the radio show, to talk about her powerful new book, Griffin's Heart. Here's a bit of our conversation. Reagan, one of the things that you say in the book, and I think it goes to a bigger point, and that's why I'm so glad we're able to have you on, is that you had a moment when you were speaking with someone, and the way that you phrased it in the book is that your feelings, what you were being able to go through, your pain, had been validated. And I love that, because I think a lot of times when we suffer a loss, especially the loss of a pet, someone who's been in our lives, a lot of times people don't understand it, but you were able to have that empathetic moment there. What is it like for you now to share that with other people, how their pain also is valid?
Oh, that's such a great question. I think that was such a huge part of my healing, because I felt, I call it, it's not my phrase, but it's a phrase in the dictionary of psychology called disenfranchised grief, and it's a grief that's just not quite taken seriously often by society. And animal loss is a huge one of those in that category. And I definitely was suffering kind of alone and quiet, because I almost felt ashamed that I felt so strongly, and my heart was completely shattered by that loss of my sweet animal, and not really acknowledging it was compounding the problem and actually making it so much worse. So finally, I actually went to see a doctor because I wasn't sleeping well, and I kind of thought it would be quick, but she really, really forced me to, be open about my life and my histories.
Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. We thank you all for tuning in to this edition of Conversations Daily News. We'll have you guys on tomorrow with more news, Truth of the Day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich, and of course your Entertainment Spotlight. Until then, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Daily News today. Let's make today amazing. Take care.